Hello. TGIF. My dog is sneezing in the background, so if you hear a bunch of sneezes, it's just her right over there. We have a different location. I'm here on the couch with my dolphin friend. I'm trying to be like Wendy. Wendy Meyer, right? With the fish in the background. You coaching clients know what I'm talking about. That's an inside joke. Hello, Amy. TGIF. Grace is kindness, compassion, and caring. I would agree with that. That's true. Hello, hello. Say hi if you're on here. Don't be so shy. Is it warming up? Hi, Marion. Is it warming up where you live? I hope so. It is warming up here big time in Florida. So typically my greenery is in the back, but today it's over there. So I kind of flipped on you because when I sit out here, remember last time the sun was beating down on my face, so I decided to come over to the couch area of the tiki hut. So I'm still in the tiki hut. Little bit, but not sunny this week. I'm sorry to hear that. It's gonna get really warm up there soon enough, right? So we're gonna do these questions today. I only have two, and then I'm going to share a very controversial lesson. So let's get to it, all right? So Gina asked me, when do you know if a bulk is right for you? Well, that's a great question. You'll know if a bulk is right for you if you are skinny fat, which means you are just kind of saggy and you don't have a lot of muscle, and your body fat is on the higher side, I would say like above 33-ish, then you can do a bulk. And also, if you've been in a cut for a while, and you're starting to lose your muscle and you want to bulk up, anytime you want to put on muscle, a bulk is right for you. You don't have to be a certain body fat to be in a bulk phase. The thing is, though, you want to create the right nutritional balance when you're doing these bulk cycles, because if you already are starting with higher body fat, you have to have a good nutrition plan so you don't just gain more body fat. Make sense? I'm doing honey lavender today. It's so good. So, when do you know if a bulk is right for you? If you want to put on muscle, if you're skinny fat, then you want to do that. If you just feel like putting on muscle, then it's time to do that. If you feel you're losing your muscle, you're getting too skinny, go for a bulk. You can do that. Okay, those are all the instances where a bulk would be right for you. Should you be lifting every day during a bulk to build muscle? You don't have to lift every day, but you definitely want to have a solid muscle hypertrophy lifting program in place so that you are building muscle with your workouts. You want to make sure that you're training correctly and balancing your nutrition and recovering well. We always talk about that triangle, right? That's something that we talk about a lot in this group. So you want to have most of your program being lifting 100%. You want most of your program being lifting, you know, it doesn't have to be super heavy, but moderately heavy. Hello, Eric, my husband. See a little twinkle in my eye when he comes on here. 15 years of marriage and I still love that man. And I still like him too, which I think is pretty cool, right? So, yes, you should be lifting weights most days, yes. And depending on your fitness level, you can be doing either total body or splits, upper body one day, lower body another day. That is all going to get you there. But you want to have a good muscle hypertrophy program. You don't want to be lifting too light. You don't want to be lifting too heavy either. Sorry, I glitched out there. Think about this. Let me see if I can fix this. Hang on. I'm getting better at this. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. Come on, little phone. Okay, it's not going to let me do this, really. I did it this morning, and it was fine. Okay, it's not going to let me fix this. Yeah. Nope. Okay, sorry. I might glitch out a little bit. We're going to do the best we can. So if you're going to be lifting 5 days a week, right, you don't want to lift too heavy, because then what? Then you won't have that recovery portion in check, right? That's going to be a problem. So we want to get a good muscle hypertrophy program. You want to be in the 12 to 15 rep range with your lifts. You want to train, be at least 3-4 days a week with a solid program, and you want to be getting good recovery and have some good nutrition. And that is not hard to do. This is all stuff we're going to be able to do for all our people in the online gym coming up here, okay? So stay tuned for that. That'll be available to everybody. So the last part of her question was, how do you know you're not packing on a ton of fat? Yes, also a great question. This is just filled with great questions, this one particular comment. You have to track the right data. Everybody needs to be tracking the right data when you're doing any kind of program with a goal in mind, right? If my goal is to bike faster, I need to track how fast I'm biking to see if I have any progress. If I'm on any bulk program or a cut program or a maintenance program, we want to track our data so we know that what our program is actually doing, right? If I'm on maintenance calories and I'm losing weight, those aren't my maintenance calories. It's not working. If I'm in a cut and I'm not losing weight, then my cut's not working, right? And so I need to make adjustments. So we measure data to see what's working and to see how we are progressing. If you are in a bulk when you start it, you need to make sure you measure your body fat, because as you're going along, you want to make sure that when you're getting bigger with the right, with the right body composition. You want to be getting bigger with muscle. We don't want to be just getting bigger with fat. That's easy to do, right? We don't just eat whatever you want and sit on the couch. Getting bigger with fat is a cinch. So measure your body fat when you start your bulk and measure it throughout. Take photographs. Decide if this is an aesthetic that you like. Oftentimes people in my group start a bulk. It's terrifying watching that scale go up. So that other data really helps calm the mind, knowing that you are putting on muscle and you're not just getting fatter. Okay, I had that happen with one of my clients. She was having a difficult time with her bulk because of injuries and things of that nature, and we were really wondering if it was successful. She went and had her body fat done, and bingo, she had put on muscle, and she's in her late 50s, so it's possible at any age, y'all. So that's how you know you're not packing on a ton of fat. You measure, and you measure consistently, and you make sure that your program is working. You make adjustments if you're not getting the progress that you need. Okay? My next question's from Allison. When and why should you wear a weight belt when you lift? Great question also. Happy hour. I just made kale chips for my coaching group. Never in a million years did I think I'd be eating kale chips. But I actually like kale chips. Hi, Tanya. When and why should you wear a weight belt when you lift? You should wear a weight belt when you lift if you're lifting super heavy and you're scared you're going to hurt your back. I have herniated discs in my back. It's a permanent change. I don't want to say a permanent injury because I'm not injured anymore. It's a permanent change in my anatomy. So if I want to lift real heavy, which I don't anymore, then sometimes I would put a belt on so that I'm not, so I'm really keeping my body stable when I'm doing those squats and I don't hurt myself. The people that lift super heavy, you'll see powerlifting and whatnot, they're lifting so super heavy that they're wearing that weight belt for safety. My friend Rachel's a power lifter. My friend Melanie's a power lifter. Happy Friday. Hi, Melissa. You're just in time, Melissa. We're going to get into that topic here in a minute. So they wear the belt for safety because they don't want to get hurt lifting a huge amount of weight, and because it's okay to do that in competition. It's legal to do that. But from a training standpoint, people wear the weight belts to be safe because they're lifting super heavy and they want to support their back. Now, honestly, As I get older, my philosophies change. You know, when you're younger, you can promote all the heavy lifting that you want because you recover from it like a boss. And it's easy to promote something that you think is easy. As I get older, I don't think it's necessary to wear a weight belt. I only do it when my back is hurt and I'm feeling off and I just want it to be mentally feeling safe about it, right? So it's not because I'm lifting heavier. It's just as a safety precaution and to make me mentally feel secure about continuing on in my workout. But I don't believe anybody, especially anybody like over 40, you don't need to lift that heavy unless you're training for competition or CrossFit or things like that. You don't really need to be lifting heavy enough to warrant wearing a belt unless you just like to. I mean, if anybody likes to do it, then just go for it. But that's why people do it. So we're on to the next subject. Let me take a sip. Okay. I want to talk about tracking macros and why you don't need to. I said it. Going forward, and in the online gym, I'm going to be promoting and encouraging the tracking only of calories and protein. Stay with me. This is how I used to track my nutrition before I started working in macro groups and macro coaching and stuff like that. Okay? Forever. It was pen and paper. Look, see? Still a pen and paper girl. I got a meal plan from my PhD friend who is a nutritionist and bodybuilder. It had amounts of food. It was not in grams. I tracked my food with a little notebook and a pen because there was no tracking app. There was no MyFitnessPal. There was no smartphone back then. Okay? We wrote down what we ate. We measured it in cups and in size, palm of your hand, things of that nature. Old school, y'all. Okay? I didn't weigh anything when I trained for competition and my body fat got about 7%. I was extremely lean. So were all the other bodybuilders on stage before there was any tracking apps. It's not necessary. What I see with macros is something that really concerns me. And this is what made me jump on the bandwagon of promoting this. Number one was because this was how I did it for decades. Calories and protein, intuitive eating, and a meal plan guideline. I'll explain what all this means. What I see with macros with a lot of people is that it creates stress, emotional eating, major feelings of failure, confusion, and ultimately big problems like either diet depression or wanting to quit and just not wanting to be on a health journey whatsoever. And I'm seeing this more and more and more. And for those of you who don't know me, I come from the recovery world. I was in AA. I'm still sober, praise the Lord. And I worked with people in recovery. So coming into this and seeing all of the people emotionally, honestly damaged by the stress of tracking and the thought of being such a failure when you're not able to meet these numbers, it has me really concerned. And I don't want to stand for something especially that creates binging disorder, hating yourself because you're just feeling like you can't possibly do it. Because the bottom line is you don't need to track all your macros. Now listen, I know there are a lot of people that love macros. That's great. There are also a lot of people that, love reading textbooks. That's great. I love reading textbooks, actually. I'm a total nerd. Not everybody likes to read a science textbook. I can totally do that. A lot of people like to read novels. That's like the bulk of people, right? So am I going to go out promoting you got to read textbooks? No, that's not what most people want to do. Most people want to track in an easier way. And when I first started doing virtual coaching, I didn't promote macros. I promoted working in a calorie budget and eating protein. That's what we did for years, guys. That's what we did in groups of 2,000 women that were coached for 7-week periods. We didn't have everybody on macros. And guess what? We got profound success. Calories, meal plans, guidelines. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And protein. And I'll explain to you why this works, why it's so easy, and how you can do this. Let's get into it. I'm not abandoning macros, okay? I'm just having you understand that that is a more advanced way of tracking your nutrition. Not everybody has to do that, okay? It's like, you know, I want to be a runner. Well, I want to run the loop around my neighborhood. That's like 1.8 miles. I'd be so psyched with that because I'm not a great runner. Now, if I wanted to be a runner and my friend Shannon Metzler, who works this group with me, said, great, Shannon, we're going to go run and tomorrow we're going to do 8 miles. I'd be like, I'll pass. I'm never going to want to do that. Never going to want to do that. I want to run at my level. Like, you know, the I'm going to be 50 level, where I'm just kind of shuffling through the hood doing maybe like a 60-40. 60 is going to be the walking, 40 might be the little shuffle. Right? So this is what I'm doing with my business with this macro thing. Those that want to track macros, awesome. We can help you with that. That is a very advanced way of tracking your nutrition. I'm telling you, tracking macros, protein, fat, and carbs, staying within a calorie budget, drinking your water, plus getting your sleep, getting your workouts in, figuring out your recovery, that is hard. That is hard. And guess what? I don't do it. My favorite thing is training. My favorite thing is not tracking. It's not. And I'm very glad that I was taught back in the day with pen and paper, and that I don't have to put everything on a scale, because remember what I said, I come from the recovery world. It can be obsessive for me. It can be very stressful for me. It can be very damaging emotionally for me. So there are times when I track and weigh when I have a specific goal and I want to get super, super lean for a photo shoot or something like that, which I did last summer. And there's often times where I just kind of vacillate between intuitive eating, kind of doing what I want, and then being more mindful, which is making a loose plan, giving myself these bumpers, like guards when you go bowling, you know, with the kids, those things come up. You can throw the bowling ball and it bounces off those little guards and then you'll hit the pins, right? That's what we can give you here. So let's talk about why this works. Let me look over here and see if I have any questions, because I saw a bunch of comments here. People here, me. I'm very interested in tracking protein and calories. Awesome. And listen, this is because I had so many people asking me about this. I'm like, I have to pull the trigger now. I was going to wait till May to do this, but I have to do it now because I want you to know there's an answer. There's a very simple answer, a simple way to track and do this. And this is what I'm going to be doing with my online gym. We're not going to be tracking full macros. If people want to do that, it will be there. It's like I'm giving you the crayon pack, and most people just want to use the 3 crayons you get in the restaurant. I'm still going to give you the 8 crayons. If you want to use all 8, great. If you're those people that want to use just 3, then just use the 3 and leave the other 5 in the pack. Make sense? Macros has become overwhelming to me and I've become obsessed. Exactly, Tanya. Exactly. Exactly. I have an answer for you. Hi, Adam. Very interested in tracking calorie. Great. This is what we're going to be doing. Okay? Same here. I feel like a failure. Okay. Good. Yep. Yep. Exactly. So there's an answer. Let me have a sip. I'm all excited. We'll keep going. So, my partners and I, and Shannon Metzler, my fabulous, awesome coach working with me, she's so amazing. We are working on putting this together and making this as simple as possible. Calories, protein, drink your water, and get your carbs from the right source. That's it. I'm going to break it down for you and show you how this works. Okay? and why, because that's important. I don't want to just give you information and be like, this is what we're doing, and that's what we're doing. I don't do that. I explain to you, this is my philosophy. Do as you like. This is why it works. This is why I made it simple for you. Give it a try. Not if you're drinking a ton of water regularly. No, I drink a ton of water too. If you're force drinking a ton of water, that is very bad. Somebody actually died from doing that on a radio show. They were having a drink water contest and forcing these people to drink tons of water, and someone died. It was horrific. So we start with TDEE. For those of you who don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It is total daily energy expenditure. It's how many calories you burn in a day. And I'm going to have a macro and TDEE calculator in my online gym membership, which is going to be so incredibly inexpensive that everyone's going to have access to that whenever you want. You need your macros tweaked, we got you. Go ahead and go plug your numbers in and you got it. You need your calories and protein done. It's going to be so simple. Oh my gosh, Marian, this is so simple. I'm going to show you. Insanely simple. So I use my calculator and I figure out how many calories I burn per day, which I pretty much knew anyway. Between 17 and 1800. And all of this stuff is going to be on my website. We are working on getting all this together in one place. So hang with me for the next month or so. We're pulling it all together. We've got everything. We're just blending the ingredients together. Once we bake this cake, we're serving it to everybody. We're going to have this big launch. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to have these calculators available to you. You'll be able to figure all this stuff out on by yourself. You'll plug in your info. It will tell you how many calories you should be eating based off your goals. If you say you want to maintain, it's going to give you this range. If you say you want to lose weight, it's going to give you this range. For the purpose of this discussion, we're going to use 17 to 1800 calories. That is my maintenance calories. Okay? So if I'm doing calories and protein, this is all I have to do. I multiply my weight, 140 pounds, by 0.8, and I get 112. The other calculation is I multiply my weight by 140. So between 112 grams and 140 grams of protein per day. Guess what? That's it. Calories, 17 to 1800. Protein, 112 to 140. Those are my parameters. Those are my bars on my bowling alley. And I'm going to stay within that range. Guess what that means? You don't have to hit your macros spot on. You don't have to hit your macros within 5 grams, 10 grams. You don't have to hit that calorie count. You don't have to look at your macros at the end of the day and say, oh man, now what do I have to shove down my throat? You don't have to do that. No. So you have your calorie window, you have your protein window. Listen to how beautiful this gets. So for me, my protein window is 112 to 140. So guess what that means? Today, I ate 112. Hey, I'm good. Tomorrow, I ate 125. Hey, I'm good. Sunday, I eat 140. Hey, I'm good. I'm all good. It's a range, and I try to hit within the range. And I'm good. This is what we did back in the day for bodybuilding, people. This is what I did. And it worked. And I got very lean. It works. I'm not just spewing some dumb information that I made up in my head while I was laying awake at night. This works because I did it for like 15 years. Okay? So when you set up your macros, if you want to set up your macros with percentages, go to the TDEE calculator I'm going to give you in the online gym. Find out your calorie range. Oh wait, I think I did my calorie range for maintenance. I think I wanted to get it for weight loss. Go back in there and recalculate it. Recalculate it 10 times a day if you want. It's free in there, so it's fine, right? And so your protein will be 25 to 35%. What's that back in the day? That's so funny. We are old. Listen to this. This really sweet person that's helping me with this business, his son who's 12 looked at my picture because they don't know me in person. We're virtually working together. And his son said, oh, she's old. I was like, that's the first time that happened where I was like called old by someone who's not my daughter. I got to start saying back in the good old days, right? So, okay. So 25 to 35% if you want to do percentages. Okay? And all the people in the online gym, they'll be getting calorie counts and a protein goal. And it will all be parameters. So we're going to stay within these parameters and it's all good. Won't that be easy and nice? You want to go out? Great. You want to stay home? Great. You want to meal prep? Great. You don't want to meal prep? Great. It's all going to be so much easier. Okay? Let's talk about fat. We just talked about protein and calories. This is what's great about fat. Who cares? And let me tell you why. If you get between 25 and 35% of your calories in protein, you will automatically, by default, meet your fat goal. You're done. You don't even need to calculate it. Because it is physically impossible for someone my size to eat over 100 grams of protein a day and not meet my minimum fat requirement. Taken care of. So you never even have to calculate it or track it. Isn't that nice? So what about carbs? Okay? This is what we're doing with carbs. Yeah, I know. This is what we're doing with carbs. We're going to get our carbs from vegetables, from fruits, and things with fiber. That's all I care about with your carbs. Now, does white rice have fiber? Nope. Can you still have it? Yes. And we'll get into that later. What we're going to do is we're going to have 1 to 2 fruits a day if you like fruit, 2 to 3 vegetables a day, and that's a non-negotiable. Okay? Whatever vegetable you like. You like kale? Go for it. You like beets? Go for it. You like Swiss chard? Have it. You like Brussels sprouts? Go for it. I don't care. Hopefully green. Want to have some green vegetables, right? Because they're lower in calorie. But that's what we're going to have. Servings. Servings of vegetables, a serving or 2 of fruit if you like fruit. If you like sugary things, that will be your sugary thing, right? And we're going to drink water. Half of your weight in pounds in ounces a day. I'm 140 pounds. I'm aiming to drink 70 ounces of water. Do I track my water? Never. I know I drink a lot of water. So if you're drinking like 1 or 2 bottles of water a day, you need to drink more water, okay? Tracking water is easy. Buy yourself a bottle. Aim to fill it 3 times a day. You're done. You know, you don't have to put it in an app or anything, okay? So let's review. Calorie budget. We're going to provide you with the ability to track that and figure that out and adjust it whenever you want. You're going to get your range. You multiply that number by 0.8 and 1. There's your protein range. We will put that into your profile if you choose to be a member of the online gym. The first price point is going to be $9.99. Pretty darn inexpensive, okay? So if you want to be on board with this, that is our starting price point. It's going to be incredible, okay? And then we're going to, so we are staying within our calorie budget. We're going to eat 25 to 35% of our calories in protein. So we do want to know how much protein we're having a day, whether you weigh it in grams or weigh it in cups or weigh it with the palm of your hand. We'll figure it out, okay? We're going to eat our vegetables. We're going to eat a fruit or 2. We're going to drink our water. Who can't do this? Everybody can do this. Everybody. And if you are in the online gym and you are tracking your stats, you're going to see if what you're doing is working or not. If you are like 90% on with this, you're going to get results because everybody did. I was in groups of 2,000 women and it works. I've done this myself for 15 years. It works. I eat chocolate. I eat ice cream. I eat burgers if I feel like it. It works. I'm going to provide you with exercise in the online gym if that's what you want. I'll tell you about that since you brought it up. Let me finish this up, okay? All right. I want to say why it doesn't matter that you're essentially weighing to the gram, because if you are eating a good amount of vegetable and lean protein, all you really need to track is your calorie dense things. And I'll explain all that at a later date. But if I'm eating lettuce from my salad greens, I don't weigh my salad greens. They're like 10 calories. What am I going to be off by? 2 calories? Give me a break. You know, like that's me talking for like 5 minutes. 2 calories. Right? So the exercise portion of this, in the online gym, we're going to have 2 tracks. We're going to have a full equipment track if you're training in the gym, and we're going to have a home track for people training at home. The first 500 people of my gym are going to get in at a discount. I'm still working out these numbers. It is going to be inexpensive. Think big franchised gym price. It's going to be around there. We will give you your calories and protein numbers. We will set you up with a profile. We will give you workouts that are scalable. You can train with your body weight. You can train with dumbbells. You can train with minimal equipment. You can go to the gym and get your pump on. It's going to be for everybody. There's going to be a price point for everybody. There's going to be a workout for everybody. And it is going to be available to whoever wants it. So there's going to be no excuses. Oh, I can't afford it. Yes, you can. Oh, I can't do it because I have a bum knee. Yes, you can. Oh, I can't do it because, I go to the gym. And, oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And it was my goal to impact as many people as I could, to change as many lives as I could. And that's what we're doing. I'm making this available to everybody. Okay? So there is that workout component to it. All right? So guess what? That's it. That's all I got. I feel like I talk more and more and more on these videos, so I hope I at least am engaging with you and at least giving you information that is pertinent to your journey. That is always my goal. It is always my goal not to ramble on, not to want, and bore you to tears, and to give you something of value for your journey, and I will continue to do this. We are going to be doing the online gym and the challenges and things like that in this group. I'm not pulling people away here. We are all going to become one big old family. There's going to be prizes. I'm going to be giving you money. This is going to be awesome. So I'm getting it all together. I'm working super hard on this. Okay, so hang with me. I'm promised that I'm going to launch this as soon as I can. We have a vacation coming up. I want to go be with my family and kind of get some downtime before we get here. And then we're going to get going on this and execute this, have this big launch, and make sure we're all ready for the intakes, because I'm thinking it's going to be kind of big. All right? I don't know how to send money. We got all that covered, honey. We got all that covered. Everybody around the world can be a member. We're all going to be just using credit card. It's all going to be through my website and through my internet. I have everybody working on this. I have a whole team behind the curtain working on all this, okay? So let me see if there's any questions here. You'll be able to do this, Deb. Just stay on here. I'll have it posted in this group. Okay. Back in the day. That is so funny. Yes, it will be simple enough for you, Marion. Of course it will. I have to have you on board with me, babe. I love your videos. That's so nice. That's so nice. Okay, I want to be in this online gym. Do you think I can do this? Of course you can. Of course you can. Could you do my other challenges you were in? Yes. Can you do the challenge that you're in right now? Yes. This is for everybody. Guys, I've been at this for 23 years. I sure as heck hope that by now I could figure this out. Programming was always my strong suit. I can do programming for anybody. I got an old man walking again. I helped my friend Courtney, who had a traumatic brain injury, and she was in bed, and she got paired up with a great coach. I helped people that were 8-year-old athletes, hopefully training for the Olympics. I've done it all. I trained somebody with one leg. I've trained people with chronic injury. I've trained people for rehab with back injuries, hip replacements, all of it. Because I love it. Can you tell? I do this because I love it. I want a larger group so I can help more people. I'm making this less expensive because everybody told me charge $1,000 a month, and I don't want to do that. I was already in the rich world of personal training. I want to work with the teacher. I want to work with the stay-at-home mom. I want to change people's lives, not because of money, but because of impact. That's my goal. Okay? Time for me to go make an impact in my kitchen. We're making mackerel tonight. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, honey. I'm getting better at this, I think. I think because I'm losing my fear. I'm losing my fear because of people like you, Marion, people who have stuck with me for a year and helped me to believe in myself. This is not the Shannon Michelle show. This is not the Ivy League Fitness show. This is a movement and a mission for you. For all of you, for you, Deb, for you, Marion, for you, Tanya, for you, Adam. Adam, you so motivated me, and I'll never forget you in the beginning. For you, Tracy, for you, and for you. Yes, we have everybody here, okay? For you, Jane, I hope you got my message and my comment on there, right? I'm here to help. I've talked to Jane. I never charged her a dang dime. Why? Because I love her. Is it not obvious? I do this because I love it. All right, I'm rambling on. I'll let you guys go. Mwah. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time with your families. Life is short. My energy isn't... Who said that? Thank you. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. So enjoy your weekend with your families, okay? Have some fun. Go enjoy yourselves. Have some great food. Eat a vegetable. Take care. I'll see you later.